building from inside out and not outside in, I think has been something that I have adopted over the many years of my healing journey, and now this is what I teach others to do. But why should we do that? Why don't we feel that everybody is the one that's affecting how we feel and ultimately what we do? Well, it is true that we have people who upset us and let us do things, but what if we have an introspection of how we are and how we need to behave so that we don't harm others? Wouldn't that be a better way of dealing with our emotions? Hi, I'm Toyin Okunuga. I am your self-realization mindset expert. Yes, I say self-realization because, as I've said in many of my videos, I don't bring anything out from you that you don't already have. In other words, you have everything inside there, but it's due to one thing or the other that you do not tap into those places, and because of it might be because of fear, low self-esteem. But I'm ready here to tell you that you have everything inside of you to become what you want to be. And yeah, it might sound hoo-hoo, but no, from personal experience, I know we do. But today I'll be talking about our mind. So we have to do a mind cardio to mental wellness. We really do. And the reason we have to do that is because we know in recent years, despite the social media presence, the technological advancement that we have, that should make us feel all connected, we are feeling so isolated. And that is because we don't really have that human connection. And within us, we weren't even whole anyway. So we're trying to stop being with our friends or family that we can see, and then find friends online that we do not see. Just an analogy from the Bible. I mean, it's very far-fetched, but God says you can't love me that you cannot see and hate your brother that you can see. We feel we have connections that we are online, but it's actually causing us more anxiety if we don't get a response instantly. We need to mind cardio ourselves to mental wellness. And how do we do this? Well, you'll know my story, that I, like so many people out there, have had so many traumatic events in my life, and it caused me a lot of anguish, pain, and despair that I had no idea had anything to do with what happened to me. And as a child, we know self-regulation is difficult. In fact, we are being controlled by people, so it's quite difficult to even get a hold of what we want. So today, I want to abolish all the things, and I say abolish very lightly because I can't do it on my own. But I know that if we start with ourselves, we do our mind cardio, we can get to the root of problems that we have, and we can stop hurting others. So you know that I got fostered at the age of 2 months, got taken to Nigeria at 8, and then my traumatic events sort of like skyrocketed till I had a sexual abuse encounter from the age of 12 until I turned 15. And that, as I've said before, not to make anyone to demonize anyone, but the fact of the matter is it was by my father. And yes, I say it because we need to stop these by doing our mind cardio and know where the pinpoints are that's making us hurt other people. Yes, I've forgiven, and it sounds, oh my gosh, huge, but it's how we interpret that thing. It was a terrible instance, but if we want to live in a world where everyone's having fun and we have gone through experiences, we have to do a mind cardio, not just for those who bad things have happened to. It might not even be a sexual abuse, it might be someone that you've lost, it might be anything that's triggered that inner child for it to heal. We need to have a mind cardio. That's on one aspect. But on the other aspect, Our self-awareness means that we have to know what's happening to us so we don't hurt others, just the way my father hurt me. And it's everything to do with consciousness. So I believe he was so unconscious, and not, I don't mean unconscious that he didn't know what he was doing. I just mean the level of self-awareness that we need to get to. It's a me really saying it's a difference between right and wrong. So instead of me to say it was wrong, I'll say he was at so much level of unconsciousness away from himself that he hurt me and thought, wasn't thinking, is what I will say. Level of unconsciousness. I'm not excusing what he did. I'm just trying to say that we need to have a mind cardio of what's happened to us. Something might have happened to him and he's inflicted that pain on me. So these are the things that I believe we need to do. I've got my notes here and I'm outside in this beautiful playground behind my house, and I love it absolutely. I'm in the UK. So we need to mind cardio ourselves to mental wellness. Those who are hurting others and those who are being hurt. Though, both sides, we need to do this. And firstly, I would say self-reflection. So we have to have a self-reflection. So when you stay with yourself and you think, we have to have a thinking moment time. So when you have self-reflection, it means that you look at what's happening to you and then how are you using that to affect your external world. So self-reflections. Let me go over what's happened to me. Maybe I've had bad news. How am I dealing with this? How are the thoughts that are coming up with me in my head are being dealt with, and how am I now choosing a behavior to do things? So self-reflection on what you've done, what's happened to you. We need to do that by having moments of thinking. So that's the first one. And then I'll say deep internal orientation. So that sounds very similar to the self-reflection, but when you have a deep one, I believe it's when you really, really, really get in touch with source. So where you are from, what are you here for? What are the things that you are doing to yourself and to others that's making you purposeful in life? And if you cannot really feel or think about anything that is useful, then you need to write those down and make a change. Because as I said, I'm talking about those who are hurting people and those who are being hurt. We need to mind cardio, just the way you'd work out to get your body in shape. We need to work our mind out so that we can get that in shape and stop hurting others. So the second one is deep, very deep internal orientation. There's a lot that goes into that, and I'm just really touching the tips of the iceberg. In another video I'll go deeper, but this is just for me to say we need to do these things. You can read further to see what these all entail, but I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg. And then the third one is, who do you think you are? It sounds quite, who do you think you are? Yes, I think when we believe we are something, but we are something else. Yes, because I know that when I was growing up and I was being abused by my father, he thought it was one thing, but he was actually someone else. And for me, he was someone who was cruel to me. And for other people, they would look at him and say, oh, hold him to high esteem. Now, we need to know who we think we are and be true to who we are so that we can be good people. We can be good, live good. And I'm striving to be that person too. So who do you think you are? What it does is that when something happens and you get angry, think, what has that brought up in me? What is that feeling? And then deal with that rather than getting that manifested into hurting other people. So who do you think you are? Be true and authentic to who you are. And it's really like you're saying one thing, but you're doing another. And that is in the case of many people who hurt others. So my case is really about those who are abusing others. Who do you think you are? You need to have that deep internal orientation to know who you are and be true and authentic to you, because you need that mind cardio to be at peace, because you're not at peace if you're at an unconscious level where you are hurting others. And then the next one is the real self. So we are all having our old and fake self, is what I would say, but we need that. It's necessary for us to be what we feel has happened to us, so that we can get to the higher level of our true selves, because we can't live being one thing and then turn out to be who in my case, who Jesus thinks we should be. So we have to recognize that what we have been through might have affected our personality, and now we need to get to our higher consciousness and be authentic and true to who we are. So your true self, as I said, you can read into it to see more. I'm simply touching the ice at the top of the iceberg. And then I'll say the fifth is the deep state of love. If as I'm working towards my deep state of love, I know that if I do something to someone and it doesn't feel right, I'll know it's not from a place of love, it's from a place of fear. I believe that only two things that we have in existence on this earth, it's love or fear. Even our emotions, it's either love or fear. I know my father did to me because of the fear that he had, not love. It's nothing else. It's the fear. The fear, and as I said, is the tip of the iceberg that I'm touching. When you are fearful, you feel that you are strong, but no, you are weak. And it's your fears. You're living in fear, and you're doing things thinking you are actually powerful, but it's weakness. So we have to get to that deep state of love, and loving ourselves first. If you love yourself, as I've said in another video, loving people love others, and hurting people hurt others. So when you love yourself, you wouldn't want to hurt someone else. So that deep state of love, setting boundaries, saying no, and saying, okay, this has happened to me. Now let me see how I can deal with this, and have that inner self-orientation, so that something that manifests in me would be love and not hurt and fear. Okay. And then, go to those triggers. And this might seem I don't want to go there. Go to those triggers. When something comes up that triggers you, or someone says something, then just know that it's because of something you have not healed from that is triggering you to be fearful or a bit on the edge. And that is why you need to go to those triggers and then deal with them in the best way you can. Now, this has just been, like, as I said, touching each one. But please, 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 the key message here is have your own mind cardio, because everything starts with a thought. Everything starts with a thought. And when we have those thoughts that are coming, let's mind cardio it and do introspection, self-regulation. So guys, that's it from me today. Thank you for watching. Please press that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss a video. And yes, remember guys, your inner child, it really has a voice. Please don't suppress it. Let it roar. Thanks for watching, guys.